speaking about the wonderful appearance of Lord Krishna. And it's good, children, that you hear, because sometimes we see so many different movies, we hear so many different things about Krishna, but we are not sure whether what we are hearing is correct or it is not correct. If we want to hear about Janamastami, we should hear Janamastami from Shastra. Then we will get the correct understanding of who Krishna is. Otherwise, we will not get the correct understanding. To understand Krishna's Janamastami, we have to understand that this Janamastami is actually found, this entire episode is found in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is found in the Bhagavata Purana. And when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you will find that what is very important about Krishna coming to this world is that he is not born. This is the first thing, children, I want you to know. Are you all listening? The first thing I want you to know, and all of us should know, is Krishna is never born. Krishna is never born because he never dies. Krishna is known in Shastras as Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Mattaha Sarvam Pravartate. In other words, listen. In other words, Krishna is the origin of all material and spiritual things. Krishna is known as Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the reason why we are all here. And therefore, even before anyone was here in this world, Krishna is here. And after all of us die and leave this world, Krishna will continue to be here. This is a very important point we should remember. Now, when Krishna is going to come to this world, he incarnates into this world. Therefore, Krishna comes in the form of an avatar. Avatar is very different. You and I are not born as avatars. Because we are born, we will grow old, we will have disease, and eventually we will die. But Krishna he's not born. Therefore, he never dies. When you see the pictures of Krishna, Krishna is not an old man. When he was speaking the Gita, Krishna was already hundreds of years old according to material calculation, because he is non-different from God. So this is a very important point. Krishna is God. So therefore, Krishna came into this world because of one very important reason. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam tells us that whenever the devotees of the Lord are placed into difficulty, when the devotees of the Lord require the protection of the Lord, that is the time that the Lord descends to protect them. Very often the devotees don't pray that Krishna, you must save us. They don't. Others pray. The Devatas very often pray. But the pure devotees of the Lord, they don't pray. Their only prayer is that in all our difficulties, let us never forget Krishna. That is very important. Actually, when you have that mentality in life, then no matter what difficulty you face, whether you're facing an exam which is difficult, whether you're facing difficulties in life at any point of time, whether you have difficulties, challenges to your body in terms of disease, a devotee never loses faith in Krishna. A devotee sees all the challenges as opportunities to remember Krishna. Isn't it true that when everything is going well, we just see Krishna, pray to him, and we quickly go off to work? But when things become very difficult in our life, suddenly we want to do so many pujas and so many prayers, and that is the time we start remembering Krishna. So Kunti Mata prays to Krishna in Bhagavatam that let all the calamities come, because in the calamities I will remember you more. So Vasudeva and Devaki were very great devotees of the Lord. And Vasudeva got married to Devaki. And when he got married to Devaki, Kamsa, whose sister was Devaki, was very happy, because Kamsa was thinking that Vasudeva is a nice person and he's getting married to my sister. Now Kamsa by heart was not a devotee. He was very demonic in his heart, because by nature he was always after power, he was always pushed by greed, and he was always driven by lust for power. So he was very happy at the moment, and like a good brother, he got on the chariot, he picked up the ropes, and he started riding the chariot. Behind him was Vasudeva and Devaki. Suddenly, as Kamsa was starting to move, a very loud voice came in the sky. And the loud voice told Kamsa that, Kamsa, you are fool number one. Because you are riding the chariot and your sister is on the chariot. From the union of your sister and Vasudev, the 8th child of Devaki will become the slayer of you. And when Kamsa heard that, he completely forgot the fact that Devaki was his sister. He didn't care that Vasudev was very close to him. He dropped the ropes of the chariot, he picked up his sword, and he proceeded to kill Devaki without even thinking. Before the sword could come down on Devaki Mata, immediately Vasudev stopped him by holding his hand. And Vasudev pacified him and told him, Kamsa, this is not the time for you to behave like this. Now Vasudev and Devaki were great devotees of the Lord. And their prayer in their heart was always that somehow or another, we want to receive you, Krishna, in the form of a child, so that we can serve you that way. That was their deep prayer. When they heard the voice that the 8th child will be Krishna, Vasudev was very happy in his heart. So was Devaki. But when Vasudev saw that Kamsa wanted to kill Devaki, immediately he stopped him. And he said very wise words. He said, Kamsa, if you kill your sister in front of everyone, your reputation is gone. Even if you take up the throne, nobody will respect you. So think carefully. You should not be killing your sister for that reason. Never mind if there's any other reason, but for that reason, you cannot kill your sister. Vasudev was very wise, because he knew if he told Kamsa, Kamsa, she's your sister, how can you kill him? It wouldn't matter to Kamsa. Because Kamsa was an asura, he was a demon. It didn't matter if he took a life of his sister to save himself. Demons by nature are selfish. In other words, they only think of themselves and they never think of others. So all of us in this room, we have to ask ourselves one very important question. If we live our life in such a way that only our interest is important and everybody else's interest is subordinate, then sastrically we have a demonic tendency. The mood of a devotee is that a devotee is always mindful of how others should benefit. Others' welfare is more important to a devotee. So the children here are very good, because I see everyone is quiet, because you're thinking of others' welfare. If you just speak amongst yourself, you are no better than Kamsa, because you're only thinking of yourself. So this is very good mood. So then Kamsa heard Vasudev, and Vasudev then told Kamsa, don't worry, we will have 8 children, right? The voice has said, every child I will deliver to you. And you take the child and you do what you want to do with the child. Now Vasudev was thinking in such a way that he thought, let Krishna take care of this matter later. But before we can have any child, my wife must be alive. So let me find a way to save my wife. And so when Kamsa heard that, he became pacified. And he said, all right, you may go now. And then true enough, when Vasudev and Devaki had the first child, Kirtiman, Vasudev, like a true gentleman, brought that child to Kamsa and gave him the child and said, do as you please with the child. But Kamsa was very generous. He was thinking that the voice had said, only the 8th child should be killed, because the 8th child will kill me. So Kamsa said, take Kirtiman and go. And he left. Now the moment Vasudev left with Kirtiman, Narada Muni visited the palace of Kamsa. And Narada told Kamsa that, Kamsa, do you know that in your past life, you were a demon also? We all have different lives, isn't it? In past life also, hopefully we are not demons. But Kamsa was a demon in his past life. His name was Kalanemi. And Narada reminded him, do you know who killed you in your previous life? It was Krishna. It was Vishnu. So therefore, are you very sure that you want to let all of Vasudev's children to be alive? Because who knows, maybe Krishna may not appear as the 8th child. Maybe he may appear as the first child. And the moment Kamsa heard that, he thought, call Vasudev back. And call Kirtiman back. And to the horror of Vasudev and Devaki, he took the child and he killed it. Now some people ask in Shastra, why did Narada Muni do that? Why did he allow Kamsa, why did he encourage Kamsa to become like that? We sometimes don't understand the workings of the pure devotees. Because the pure devotees of the Lord understand that there was a great necessity to quickly hurry the appearance of the Lord into the world. And all the 6 children of Devaki, they were killed, no doubt. But they were killed not just because of the fact that Kamsa was a demon. In their previous lives, these 6 sons of Devaki who would be born later, they were actually very great personalities known as Vasus. And what happened was, they had once upon a time seen Lord Brahma creating this world. And when Lord Brahma was creating this world, he created a beautiful aspect of creation. And that aspect of creation turned into a beautiful lady. And Brahma became attracted to that lady. Actually, he was attracted to his own creation. But these 6 Vasus criticized Lord Brahma. And they said, what kind of devotee is this Lord Brahma? For that criticism, they were actually punished to be born in the womb of a great devotee, Devaki. But they would just touch this material world and they would leave this material world. Sometimes we think that sometimes people die very young. It is very tragic from a material point of view. But from a spiritual point of view, they are spared the difficulty of this material existence. So therefore, when Kirtiman was killed, it appeared as if a child was killed. But actually a Vasu was liberated. But we don't know that until we read Shastra. Then we understand the point. So like that, Kamsa became very, very careful. And he thought, better I imprison Vasudev and Devaki. Let them not move around because they may run away. So he imprisoned them in his palace jail. And there for so many years, imagine 6 children were born. They were not born month after month. Every child takes 9 months, 10 months to be born. For 6-7 years, Devaki Mata and Vasudev had to endure the difficulty of being in a prison cell. And every time a child was born, Kamsa would not take a chance and he would kill it. Kamsa became so conscious of the 8th child of Devaki that Bhagavatam said that any time he walked, if he took 8 steps, he would think of the 8th child of Devaki. Actually, in Bhagavatam it is stated that we should always remember Krishna at every junction of our lives. Kamsa was remembering Krishna every moment. Every time there was an 8, he would remember Krishna. But there's a difference between his remembrance of Krishna and your remembrance of Krishna. You are all devotees of Krishna. Therefore, when you remember Krishna, you remember him with love, with devotion, and with favor. But Kamsa did not remember Krishna that way. He remembered Krishna out of envy, jealousy, greed, and lust for power. So how we remember Krishna is very important. Don't blame Krishna for the difficulties of our life, because what is coming to us is always due to us. Nothing is coming to us which is a centimeter more or a centimeter less. Everything that comes to us is perfectly prepared for us. That we should remember. So after 6 children of Devaki were killed, the 7th child of Devaki was coming. And now the 7th child of Devaki was very special. Just before the 7th child of Devaki came, Krishna turned to Yogamaya. Krishna had already heard the Devata's prayers. Krishna had heard Vasudeva, he had heard Devaki's prayers. And so he turned to Yogamaya, his energy. And he also turned to Lord Balaram, his elder brother. So Lord Balaram was actually born in the womb of Devaki. He was the 7th child of Devaki. And the moment he was born, all auspicious symptoms came. Lord Balaram, as an elder brother, has a very important function, important service. Just like an elder brother takes care of a younger brother and makes sure that everything is ready for his younger brother whom he loves very much. Lord Balaram came into the womb of Devaki and purified her womb so that Krishna would come into the womb as the 8th child of Devaki. You see? So Lord Balaram is considered to be the mridanga you see here, the kartals you hear. Every paraphernalia that you have is actually a representation of Balaramji. He always comes ahead of his brother to prepare us for the arrival of Krishna. This is very important. Children, are you listening? You have been very good, but I'm watching you. You have to be quiet. It's only 10 minutes more. After that, we will do kirtan, then you can jump up and down no matter how much you want. But till then, listen. Okay? Because this is very important. So Lord Balaram was actually born in the womb of Devaki. But the moment he was born, Krishna arranged that he should actually be transferred to the womb of Rohini. So Lord Balaramji is a very special personality. Why? Because he was born into two wombs. He was born in the womb of Devaki Mata, and then he was moved to the womb of Rohini, the wife of Nanda Maharaj. That's why he is known as Rohini Nandan, and he is also known as Balaramji. Now the moment Lord Balaram was transferred over to the womb of Rohini, and she was actually the wife of Nanda Maharaj, then Krishna arranged that Yogamaya, the internal potency of the Lord, should actually take place of Lord Balaram in the womb of Devaki. So this is a very important point. So at that point it appeared as if the seventh child was the result of a miscarriage. A result of a miscarriage. Okay, so this is very important. And when Kamsa heard about it, he thought, all right, seventh child, there's nothing to worry about. Now he was prepared for the eighth child of Devaki. And Bhagavatam tells us that at the appropriate hour, the eighth child of Devaki, Krishna, decided to appear in the womb of Devaki Mata. Now this is a very important point. Very often we think that Krishna came into the womb of Devaki and he came through the normal process of birth. The normal process of birth means it means the father and mother, through union, they will have the seed of the child in the womb of the mother. But that was not the case with Krishna. Krishna first appeared in the mind of Vasudeva. Why? Because Vasudeva was constantly remembering Krishna. Vasudeva was chanting Krishna's names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Constantly, after the seventh child, Vasudeva was constantly chanting Krishna's names. And because he chanted Krishna's names lovingly, with concentration, Krishna appeared in the mind of Vasudeva. And then he transferred into the heart of Vasudeva. Why is the heart very important? Because in our heart, right, resides Krishna as Paramatma. Krishna is in all our hearts and he's known as Paramatma. So Krishna came to the mind of Vasudeva and then came into the heart of Vasudeva. And then Vasudeva transferred Krishna in his heart into the mind of Devaki. And that is the process in which Devaki Mata received Krishna. And Devaki Mata received Krishna in her mind and she placed Krishna in her heart. So our acharyas and sastra tell us that the birth or the appearance of Krishna is a heart-to-heart transaction. It is a heart-to-heart relationship. It is not that Devaki Mata went through 9 months of birth, first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. It is not that she went into labor and she needed an epidural and then she could give birth. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Because the appearance of Krishna is transcendental. So therefore all of us can actually receive Krishna in our minds. Is it not true? Everyone today can receive Krishna in our minds. We can transfer Krishna from our mind, which is very chanchal, into our heart, which is very steady. That is the meaning of Janamastami. Janamastami is not just a social event where we just pour some water or some milk on Krishna. No. How much do we take Krishna back after today? That is Janamastami. Janamastami means to receive Krishna into our heart and to sustain him in our hearts. That is very important. So then Vasudeva, the moment Devaki Mata received Krishna in her heart, her entire womb, her entire body became golden in color. Because Krishna is pure. And anything that touches Krishna becomes pure. That is the beauty of Krishna. It is known in Bhagavatam as Brahma Sparshanam. If you touch Krishna, you also get the qualities of Krishna. So when Devaki Mata became so golden, all the Devatas, Indra, Brahma, Varuna, all these Devatas, Brahma, they all came and they all circumambulated Devaki Mata and they chanted the famous Purusha Shukta prayers. And after chanting Purusha Shukta for all the time to glorify Krishna, they left. And then at the appointed time of Janamastami, which is actually tomorrow, right, if we follow the calendar, right at the point of midnight, Krishna decided to appear in this world. But I tell you one very important thing. At the time when Krishna was going to appear, all the stars were not actually in an auspicious position. But the moment all the stars remembered and heard that Krishna is taking appearance in this world, they all aligned themselves to become auspicious. Why is this important? Sometimes we think we should find the auspicious time to talk about Krishna. It is the opposite way. If you speak about Krishna anytime, that time becomes auspicious. If you forget Krishna in an auspicious time, that time is inauspicious. If you remember Krishna in an inauspicious time, the inauspiciousness will transform into auspiciousness. This is very important. So don't think that Krishna was looking, he went to an astrologer and said, tell me the good time for me to come to the world. No. When Krishna comes, he is God. And when he comes, everything becomes auspicious. The world became very quiet and it became very peaceful. Nobody was afraid of Kamsa. Everybody was remembering Krishna. And in that moment, Krishna appeared. He appeared from the heart of Devaki Mata. And he appeared in his four-arm form of Vishnu. Why did he appear that way? Because many people will say that Krishna is a myth. They will say that Krishna doesn't exist, that this is all a story. If it is a story, then he should have just appeared like an ordinary child. But when he appeared as the four-arm form of the Lord, no one can dispute that this actually happened. The problem is we have lost faith in our sastras and we think it cannot happen. So the moment Krishna appeared as a four-arm form of Vishnu, Vasudeva saw that form and he started praying and he started thanking Krishna for coming into his life and for choosing him as a father. You know, sometimes when there is a birth of a child in the house, we want to give away some donation, isn't it? That is considered, some charity is given, auspicious. Vasudeva was stuck in the jail. He had no money, no bank, no ATM, nothing. How was he going to give charity? You know what he did? In his mind, he offered lakhs and lakhs of cows. In those days, giving cows was charity. He offered lakhs and lakhs of cows at the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna is so kind that even if you cannot do something physically, but in your heart you want to offer him everything, he will accept it. He will accept it. And so Vasudeva's offering was there. Now Devaki Mata, when she saw Krishna as the four-arm form, she was very happy, but she was also afraid. You know why she was afraid? She was afraid and she told Krishna, Krishna, I'm very happy you have come. But do one thing, don't look like the four-arm form of Vishnu, because when Kamsa hears that Vishnu has come, he will come and try to kill you. You see, even though Devaki Mata knew that Krishna is God, but when she took on the role of a mother, she became protective of a child. Isn't that the role of all mothers? Mothers may know your children may be even 20 years old, 21 years old, they may be 50 years old, but a mother is always a mother. And for us, our children are always children. So Devaki Mata said, can you change yourself into, look a bit normal, look like a baby. Do that, Krishna. And Krishna thought, all right, I will listen to my mother. And he changed into a beautiful blue form of the Lord, who is today the form of Laddu Gopal. That is the form of Krishna. And when he appeared that way, Devaki Mata became very happy because she was afraid of Kamsa. Now someone may ask, why should a devotee be afraid of Kamsa? Because Shastras tell us that Kamsa represents material asat sangha, material association. Devaki represents bhakti. Bhakti and asat sangha don't go well together. In the company of drunkards, even if you drink mineral water, eventually you will become drunkard. In the company of saintly people, even if you are a drunkard, but if you are in the company of saintly persons, you will become saintly. So a devotee is always looking for sadhu sangha. Today in this atmosphere, it is all sadhu sangha. Everyone is remembering Krishna. So this is a beautiful sangha. And so then Krishna told Vasudeva, Vasudeva, Devaki, I am very happy with you. But I have news for you. I have to leave you immediately. because this is my arrangement. Vasudev, bring me across the river Yamuna and bring me to Gokul and bring me into the house of Nanda Maharaj. And there, put me there. Nanda Maharaj, his wife, Yashoda Mata, has given birth to a child. Take that girl and bring her here. So there was an exchange. Vasudev was thinking, Krishna, I will do that, but how am I going to come out of jail? I'm shackled. Everything is closed. Guards are outside. Kamsa is in the palace. There's no way I can come out. And Krishna said, leave that to me. And Krishna then arranged by Yogamaya that all the guards fell asleep. The gates opened, the shackles dropped. And in that dark night, in the middle of the night, as rain was pouring, Vasudev picked up little Krishna, put him in a basket and came out. When he saw the raging Yamuna, he thought, how am I going to cross Yamuna? But because Yamuna ji is a devotee of Krishna, when she saw Krishna there, she immediately parted. And it was raining heavily. But Nagasesh, who is none other than Lord Balaram, he was giving shade to Vasudev and he was giving shade to Krishna. And so as Vasudev started walking, by the power of Yamuna ji, she divided herself. And there was a clean path to walk. But Bhagavatam said Yamuna ji wanted to touch the lotus feet of Krishna. She couldn't miss that chance. So what happened was Krishna arranged, because Krishna knows the heart of a devotee. Krishna arranged that he should slip out of the hand of Vasudev. And for a while he fell into the water. And Vasudev was so shocked. He thought, I've lost Krishna. What is this pastime? But Yamuna ji became very happy. Oh, Krishna has touched me. He has blessed me. And immediately after that, Vasudev found Krishna and picked him up. This is how Krishna always works with devotees. And when he reached the end there, Yamuna ji came back again. And he walked in the dark night to the house of Nanda Maharaj. He walked inside and Yashoda Mata had just given birth. And after giving birth, you're very tired, isn't it? So she was sleeping. Nanda Maharaj was also sleeping. And he put Krishna there. And he prayed to Krishna. And he took the girl and he went back. And the moment he went back, the shackles came back, the doors closed, the guards woke up, the child cried. Kamsa heard and he said, the 8th child has been born. Now I must kill the 8th child. When Kamsa came inside, Devaki Mata said, my dear brother, please, this is a girl. A girl has been born. It's not a boy. She will not harm you. You're so powerful. How can you actually think that she will harm you? But it didn't matter to Kamsa. He picked up the girl and he smashed her on the floor. But to his surprise, the girl did not die. She came out in the form of Yogamaya. She was Goddess Durga. She had 4 arms on one side and 4 arms on the other side. She had all the weapons. And when she looked at Kamsa, she started laughing at him. And she told Kamsa, Kamsa, you are fool number 1. Unknown to you, the 8th child of Devaki has already been born. You thought you could control the situation. You thought you could achieve an outcome. But unless and until Krishna blesses you, whatever outcome you want will never come to fruition. And that's a very important lesson for all of us. We always have our plans, but we must remember, we may intend, but only Krishna can superintend. He is superintendent. We are just intendants. And so when Kamsa heard that, he realized now that Krishna was born. And Krishna was very safe with Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. And now Kamsa, now Yogamaya disappeared. And the pastime comes to a very interesting end. The end of the pastime is, Kamsa became very scared. And immediately fell at the lotus feet of Vasudeva and Devaki. And he said, I'm very sorry, my dear brother-in-law and sister. Please, please, forgive me for this. I will let you go now. Be free. Go back. Kamsa suddenly repented. But next morning when he appeared in the kingdom, he turned to all his courtiers. And when he told them, I've released Devaki and Vasudeva, they said, you are fool number 1, Kamsa. Kamsa is always fool. And they said, you are a fool. If by releasing them, you have actually given them the position of freedom. Now you should send all your demons and go and find the 8th child of Devaki. Every child born midnight of last night should be killed. And Kamsa, because of his asat sangha, in the company of bad people, you also become bad. And so Kamsa changed his mind. And what did he do? Instead of being a good person, he then decided to send all the demons to Vrindavan, to Gokul, to Mathura, and to start persecuting and to find Krishna. But you know what? Krishna would defeat every single demon that comes. And eventually, he would kill Kamsa. This is the appearance of Krishna. Therefore, Janmashtami is not the birth of Krishna. It is the appearance of Krishna. And for us to really understand Janmashtami, children especially, every time you remember Krishna, Krishna has appeared in your heart. Every time you sing Krishna's names, Krishna appears in your heart. Every time you dance and you perform for Krishna, like all of you have done, Krishna appears in your heart. That is the meaning of Janmashtami. Janmashtami is not one day in the year. Janmashtami should be every day. Every day Krishna should appear in our hearts. That is what Shastras tell us is the true value of Janmashtami. Jai Sri Krishna Janmashtami Maho Maho Sattva ki. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai Shri Shri Laddu Gopal Ji ki. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Shri Ram Prabhu, are we ready? Okay, so now how are you all going to organize the Abhishek? You want some announcement? We are going to sing. As we chant, they will organize you into rows. You come forward. But Prabhu, you're going to do first your Abhishek, right? Okay, first they will do the Abhishek. As Brahmanas, they will do the Abhishek. As Vaishnavas, they will do the Abhishek. Once they finish the Abhishek, then everybody here will get a chance to offer something to Laddu Gopal. Okay? So right now, my suggestion is, all of you don't look at me. You all turn and you look at the Abhishek. Okay? Because if you see Krishna, then you will be very happy. If you see me, there's no point. There's no benefit to see me. But you should chant Krishna's names. Alright? So children, thank you very much for being quiet. And now you should start singing Krishna's names. Everybody move back a bit. Maybe we can move back this way? Yes, we need some space in front, okay? So let's move back.
Please come from this side. All the Mataji, please come from this side. Make a queue, proper queue. Make proper queue. All the senior Mataji, please come from this side.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
माधव आचमन माधव पहले मैं कर लेता हूँ आचमन कराना है तुम्हें प्रभु जी की सुनो बंद कर इसको बंद नहीं
माता जी अभी वेट कीजिए, मुझे पहले होगा।
ये हाथ नहीं करोगे, करना ही पीछे जाओ नीचे जाओ, फटते जाना। बस थोड़ा बहुत हल्का हल्का करना है।
माता जी ऊपर से ऊपर से ऊपर से।
आंटी जी बस फास्ट 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 आंटी जी फास्ट 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 नहीं जरूरी नहीं कौन से करना है फास्ट फास्ट आंटी जी फास्ट फास्ट आंटी जी फास्ट फास्ट आंटी जी फास्ट
हरे हरे राम हरे राम